The San Francisco 49ers fall victim to a Tennessee Titans team. 49ers on the road, take a loss, 17-20. We're going to get to all that and more. What went into the loss, where the 49ers stand right now, playoff picture, and just the outlook of the 49ers moving forward. We're going to get into all that right now. Here we go. You already know what it is, man. It's the San Francisco 49ers morning show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers morning show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker, and it's Christmas Eve morning, man. It's supposed to be a festive time. I'm here at my grandparents' house. As you can see, I'm not at home in my office. Here at the grandparents' house, man, you know, hot cocoa for the kids, all that good stuff, man. They're going to be opening up presents this morning before we head out to LA to spend Christmas Day with my mom and my brother and everything. So it's the festive time, and it's supposed to be like good last night. You know, I had a great time, you know, watching like, you know, Christmas shows and movies and stuff all day with the grandparents and the kids. And then we get to the 49ers game. And you know, and then we get to the 49ers game. We're gonna have to do a mental health check, a wellness check, mental health check, whatever this morning. So, you know, go ahead, put the flames in there, because regardless of the outcome of that game, man, we gotta stay strong. We gotta stay strong, regardless of the outlook of that game. And I know, you know, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. I always talk about, if you think you are who you are, you know, the certain type of games you have to win. That was one of them. Now, one thing that I do want to touch on is Tennessee Titans. They're no slouches. They were in a little bit of a rut. They were playing without A.J. Brown. You know, Julio Jones not healthy. You know, there's no Derrick Henry, but they're a very well coached team. That's not a team that, they're not like bums, right? 49ers play Houston Texans next, and we'll get into that. Texans are a bad football team. Tennessee Titans are not, and they're very well coached. Vrabel is one of the better coaches in the NFL. All right, so from that standpoint, I didn't look at that as a game where 49ers should blow them out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was actually even surprised the 49ers were rolled favorites by 3 points. That was a little surprising. Saying all that, I thought the 49ers came out. We're going to get into it, man. You guys already know what to do, man. If you haven't already, listen to Locked On 49ers with myself, Brian Peacock. We did a post-game show. On YouTube, we stuck around. We hung out with people. I kind of let loose a little bit there. Locked On NFL Draft with myself, Ryan Tracy. Make sure you guys listen to that as well. But, yeah, as you can see, it's a little hard to be, you know, chipper this morning. And I'm pretty sure you guys probably feel some of the same way. Now I see my guy Abe in here. He says, I'm going to hear crap from family, you know, who are Cowgirl fans. I swear I'm going to throw a tamale at them. I think the tough thing about the 49ers, first of all, my brother, he's a diehard Cowboy fan. I hate Cowboys. The 49ers loss helped the Cowboys clinch the playoffs. So the Cowboys clinched. That's tough. I don't even think that's the worst part of the loss. I think the worst part of the loss is how long you have to sit with that loss. The 49ers have like 10 days until they play their next opponent. So it's like, dang, you lost a game that you probably, you know, early on you were in control of that. And then now you got to sit with that loss for a long time. Whew. I see that, you know, embarrassed as a fan when I got rolling. I agree. That was tough. And, yeah, so let's get into it, man. San Francisco 49ers took a loss, 20-17. I came on here yesterday, and I talked to y'all a little bit about it pregame. And I said, if the 49ers lose this game, it won't be because of the DBs. And what I meant by that was, I said, Tennessee might get a drive or two where it's like, hey man, they got the better of our cornerbacks, right? When you have Ambry Thomas out there and you have Josh Norman out there, it's like, hey, there's going to be a drive where maybe they get the better of them, but can that be something that's consistent, right? Can they get the better of Ambry Thomas and Josh Norman throughout an entire game? And there was one drive where they got the better of our corners, Ambry Thomas and Josh Norman. One drive. And that was it. So there's going to be a lot of people that talk about 49ers secondary, this and that. They held this team to 50 yards in the first half. Ambry Thomas, I believe he gave up one catch on a play that was a free play, and I thought he got pushed off on. I thought it was offensive pass interference. Josh Norman gave up the touchdown, but we're talking about one drive. We're talking about one touchdown. Outside of that, what went into the 49ers losing this game? Because that one drive was not the reason the 49ers lost. Jimmy Garoppolo was the reason the 49ers lost. Jimmy Garoppolo was the reason. And you guys, and I'm not saying all y'all, but I point out certain things to look out for. And that how I feel about Jimmy's game. And when he's playing well, I give him his props. And I don't want to be that person that's all over the place on Jimmy Garoppolo. I understand what he is and what he isn't. I thought the Atlanta Falcons game, that was a great game from Jimmy Garoppolo. That was his best game. But more times than not this season, that's not the Jimmy Garoppolo we get. That's what we saw against the Atlanta Falcons. And the Atlanta Falcons team, that was the worst DVOA team in the NFL. I pointed out some things against the Cincinnati Bengals, and a lot of y'all didn't hear me. And I think a lot of people get clouded by the wins. And I'm here to tell you, if you just look at it from its simplistic form of Jimmy gives you the best chance to win. Jimmy wins football games. That's correct, yes. From its simplistic form. But some of the things that go into winning more with him, there are a lot of head-scratching things that you worry about. And I'm not here to say that Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. I would say that Jimmy probably had a sucky game, and I think most of you guys would agree with that. But regardless of if he sucks or not, or I don't think he sucks, regardless of Jimmy, I've said this on Locked On 49ers, Peacock and I have kind of said this. The season has never been about Jimmy Garoppolo. It's all about Trey Lance and when he's ready. The issue is, at what point is a rookie going to be more ready than an 8-year veteran that can win games? And I would say that there is no scenario where the rookie Trey Lance will be more ready to go out and win games for you than Jimmy Garoppolo. There is no scenario with that, right? Because we don't know. We've seen Trey Lance one time against what was the best team in the NFL at that time. That's it. And so what we know is you can win games with Jimmy Garoppolo. He can play football efficiently. That can lead to him being PFF's highest graded quarterback over a stretch of games. And they point out, well, since week 8, Jimmy Garoppolo is this and that. Well, what about before week 8? Why don't they talk about before week 8? No, week 8. All right, well, since week 8, did the 49ers play the Seahawks where they didn't score in the second half? He threw multiple interceptions in that game. He missed guys, overthrew guys. Was that game included in that stretch? Was the Bengals game? And I told you guys about that Bengals game. I told y'all about the Bengals game. And a lot of people don't want to hear it. And I came on here, right? Y'all remember. My guy, y'all remember. y'all remember I came on here and I said I didn't want to what are my words? I came on here and said, should I keep it real? And everybody in there was like, Croc, you need to keep it real. And I told y'all how I felt about the Jimmy Garoppolo Bengals game and how I felt like he played a bad game up into the last 2 minutes of the game. Now, last 2 minutes, he turns into Tom Brady. I tweeted out yesterday. I was like, you know what? I say, I know one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo. He can play bad for most of a game, but the last 2 minutes, man, he gonna turn into Tom Brady. And that he did, right? He turned into Tom Brady, led the 49ers down, they scored a touchdown. But he does all these other things that put you in that position. And we compared it to like Tony Romo, right? Against the Bengals, though, I was telling y'all, and people, I got a lot of pushback. And I'm like, you guys are missing who he is. I felt like against the Bengals, with how that game was going, and it was coming off of a Seahawks loss, right? So 49ers lost to the Seahawks, and I thought he was a big part of that. 49ers scored 0 points in the second half, I believe. Yeah, did. Oh, I got to sneeze. Did special teams have a big hand in the game against the Seahawks? Of course. Of course. But did Jimmy Garoppolo help? No. You didn't score. You didn't score second half. Like, you're the quarterback. We need you to make some plays. And I said, okay, that was a little weird. But you drove the ball down to the end of the game. And then you go and you play the Bengals. So you're coming off of what I thought was a poor outing against the Seahawks. No points in the second half. And then you play against the Bengals. And I told y'all, I said, there are a lot of weird moments in this Bengal game. And let's talk about it. The Bengals turned the ball over twice. The 49ers turned the ball over 0 times. The Bengals gifted you scoring position with 2 muffed punts. How is that game going to overtime? I'm going to repeat that. The Bengals gifted you 2 turnovers. 49ers did not turn the ball over that game. They gifted you 2 turnovers on muffed punts. In scoring position, they gifted you 2 scores. The 49ers did not turn the ball over. How does that game go into overtime? And I always thought that was really weird. And I point things out like that to y'all, and people, oh, no, they won. Why are you crying over a win? And to me, it's not about, yes, yeah, you want to win, but it's about what is this? What am I looking at? And I know people talking about the dropped interception against the Bengals, whatever, but it he didn't catch it, but to me, it was beyond the dropped interception. It was the entire game and what that looked like coming off of the Seattle game, and really what most of the season has looked like for Jimmy Garoppolo, which has been pretty mediocre quarterback play. And during his stretch, right? So they're talking about him being one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league since week 8 or whatever. During that stretch, I mean, we're talking about games against the Rams, where the 49ers ran the ball 40 times. Against the Jags, they ran the ball 40 sometimes. Against the Vikings, they ran the ball 40 sometimes. Like, okay, PFF grade is high and whatnot, but it's clear the 49ers are able to win with Jimmy because he's doing just enough to not lose you a lot of these games. And they do everything to kind of coddle him. And you see a game like Tennessee Titans game, which I'm not surprised about because I know who Jimmy Garoppolo is, but it's very frustrating to have a game that essentially was, I don't want to say handed to you on the silver platter, but Kyle Shanahan came out firing on all cylinders with giving Jimmy Garoppolo these throws to where he could be successful. And ultimately, Jimmy did a really good job with screens and he hit Debo on a slant. That was awesome. For whatever reason, 49ers can't get Kittle involved, but that's a whole nother story. But overall, it was very disappointing. And I look at that game as that's who Jimmy Garoppolo is. He can have a game like he had against the Falcons, the worst DVOA team in the NFL. But that's who Jimmy is. And I see my guy, where's it at? Right here. I think it was Darius. Was it Darius? Here we go. Jeff Wilson, 14 attempts still. That's not making it look any better for Shanahan if he's scared to bench him, but he won't take the ball out of his hands with the run. All right, I think Shanahan's looking at it like I expect Jimmy to, perform at a certain level, which is kind of the I don't want to say the bare minimum, but he expects Jimmy to be efficient, right? We're talking about 8-year pro, a guy who shouldn't make certain mistakes. And he does. So I'm pretty sure Kyle knows that. But at some point, it's like, you know, we can't, you have a rookie on the bench, right? And we're handling Jimmy Garoppolo, or people want him to. Like, this is essentially what you're saying, Darius. We want Kyle to handle Jimmy with kitty gloves. We want Kyle to, coddle Jimmy. We want Kyle to take the ball out of Jimmy's hands. And if it was me, I'd take the ball out of his hands. All right. Last night on Locked On 49ers, I talked about it a little bit, right? And I said, I remember what the Baltimore Ravens did when they played. They had Joe Flacco. Flacco, he went to a Super Bowl and everything, right? Won a Super Bowl. We know that. Beat the 49ers. And it's like, man, you got Flacco. Like, he's the guy. And they bench him for Lamar Jackson. They benched Joe Flacco for Lamar Jackson. At the time, I believe they were 4-5 or whatever, and they rolled it out with Lamar through his ups and his downs. And I remember Lamar Jackson won a good amount of games after that. He did get it killed in the playoffs. I think it was the Chargers. Got destroyed. But at what point is it, you are not a part of our future? You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Garoppolo is not a part of the 49ers' future. Now, Kyle has kind of made his bed and he has to lay in whatever. But if it were me, why would I not be getting Trey Lance ready for Houston Texans? You got 10 days to get your rookie ready for his first start at home. Not on the road like they did earlier against the best team in the NFL, right? Right? Ain't that what they did? They started Trey Lance, obviously Jimmy had a banged up leg, but you got to go on the road to Arizona, play the best team in the NFL at the time, went undefeated, won multiple games even after that. On the road, first start, that was tough. I think you have an opportunity right now against the Houston Texans to prepare your rookie, because it's not about Jimmy. And what we're seeing, this is who Jimmy is. Some of you guys are blinded by, I don't even know why. I don't know what this obsession is with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G is not good. He overlooked Kittle multiple times and held onto the ball too long. Jimmy lost the game. I think Jimmy G can play good. He can play good. Held onto the ball. I haven't looked at all 22. I don't know what he was looking at. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to. I'll talk about what I saw. And what I saw was, I saw what Jimmy is. Always. Now, he might have a game in here and there where it's like, okay, I ain't turn the ball over. Look, he has some stretches and he could do some things where he makes some throws and he could play some. But Jimmy is Jimmy. So there was nothing that surprised me last night. And for all those reasons, that's why you're going to move on from it at the end of the year. Jimmy Garoppolo would not be on the 49ers next year. And that's crazy that some people try to push that narrative. Jimmy Garoppolo will be with the 49ers next year. That's what. Now listen, see my guy Ellis. Jimmy G had 35 passing attempts. What is Kyle doing? The fact that we have to ask what Kyle's doing because Jimmy Garoppolo has 30-something attempts. What is Kyle doing? We are essentially telling Kyle Shanahan that he needs to handle Jimmy like you would a rookie. You need to handle Jimmy like like a rookie. Like, we don't want you to lose this game. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know. I would be, and I don't want to make it like a right now the 49ers are 8-7. And I've talked about the 49ers as it pertains to starting Jimmy Garoppolo. And when you go to start Jimmy Garoppolo at the start of the season, what is that? We should be 15-0. When you go to start Jimmy Garoppolo and you say he's our quarterback, that's our guy. 8-7, that was not in the plans. That was not what they were projecting. You don't start Jimmy to go 8-7. Like right now, you are a middle of the pack team. You don't know exactly, are we good, are we bad, or we have good players. There are more question marks surrounding the 49ers than answers. And you're looking at Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's supposed to answer a lot of those questions for you, and he's not. When you go with rookie, when you go with Trey Lance, when you go with Jimmy Garoppolo, you go to eliminate a lot of the questions. I don't know. I would go with the rookie. And it's not an overreaction, but it's just, and I've said it before, this is not the expectations with Jimmy Garoppolo. But if we're going to get these results and he's not going to overcome certain things that either he has to overcome because, oh, the special teams played bad this game. Okay, well, it's cool. I got my quarterback. He's going to overcome that. Well, no, he didn't. 49 scored no points in the second half of the Seahawks team. And, it's okay. Like, I look at it like, damn, like, what is he giving you? And again, I don't want to say that he doesn't give you a better chance to win right now than Trey Lance. I believe that because of what we know from Jimmy Garoppolo and the unknown from Trey Lance, Jimmy gives us the better chance to win. And I think it would be really hard to dispute that. I'd also say that it would be really difficult to say that Trey Lance can do what Jimmy Garoppolo is doing. I don't think that, because I don't know that. But so, I got my guy right here. He says, Trey must suck ass if he can't challenge Jimmy G. No, that's not what this is about. And the sooner you guys understand that, the better. So, Andrew, this is what this is about. Heading into the season, and even now, there is more known about Jimmy Garoppolo than unknown with Trey Lance. And what we do know about Jimmy Garoppolo is that he can win games. He can win games. We know what he is. We know what he isn't. So right now, he gives you the better chance. We can say, well, Jimmy G must suck or Trey Lance must suck nuts or whatever you just said, right? But we just also watched Jimmy Garoppolo just have one of the best games of his year just last week. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo, march down the field and win against the Cincinnati Bengals. So we know what he can do. There is so much unknown with Trey Lance because he's a rookie. And with rookies, you have to find out on the fly about a lot of things that they need to work on. You find out on the fly. So it's not so much about, oh, Trey must look like, ass in practice. No, Trey Lance could be good, but even then, practice isn't the game. And there's a lot of unknown with seeing him in that setting. With Jimmy Garoppolo, there is no unknown. So that's what this is about. That's what that's about, Andrew. Some of y'all got to understand that aspect of it. Jimmy Garoppolo has won a lot of games with the 49ers. I see my guy Jay. Jay, This is not about one bad game. You say, oh, he had a bad game. He's had several, and he's had a lot of weird moments. And what we saw last night, that's not even, that's just who Jimmy is. It's just who Jimmy is. And sometimes it rears its ugly head and it could bite you. Other times it doesn't. There was no difference, in my opinion, aside from he just actually threw the interceptions. There was no difference between this game and the Bengals game, in my opinion. And I thought he was bad against the Bengals. And I came on here and said that. So it's not just one bad game. In the game before that, 49ers had 0 points in the second half against Seattle. It's not just one bad game. It's just who Jimmy is. You know, Jimmy, this was a good opportunity for 49ers to, and maybe it's worse because everybody in the world's watching Thursday night football, right before Christmas. Everybody's at home. They're watching the game. And that's just who Jimmy is. I had people message me and say, damn, Croc, like Trey Lance can't play better than this. People that aren't 49er fans. Like, damn, Trey Lance can't play. And I'm like, man, it's not even. They just know there's more unknown with Trey Lance. It's tough. Anyway, man, I've been talking about this enough. I'm gonna get y'all on to kind of lead some of this conversation. Here's the link right here. You guys can come on. I'll answer this. Go ahead, click the link if you want to come on. Croc, can you be the 49ers cornerback coach? Again, I'll talk about the corner. And I said it. Well, one, how much are we expecting out of rookie that didn't play all year? And and then you got Josh Norman, he's old. So I think considering where they are, I think the cornerback coach has done a really good job. Where those guys are. I thought Ambry Thomas last night played well. He gave up one catch from my knowledge that I thought he got pushed off on. I thought it was a clear push off. Aside from that, Ambry Thomas had pass breakups. I thought he played well. I thought Josh Norman was a liability, like where it's just like, oh my gosh, Josh Norman, like on one drive. And the Ambry Thomas play and the Josh Norman stuff, it all happened on the same drive. So we're talking about one drive. And that's the crazy thing. When you have a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo, it's like those things get magnified. Like, oh my gosh, the corners on one drive did not play well as opposed to the entire game. And it's magnified because the quarterback lays an egg for most of the game. Ellis, you should have listened to me. I didn't like the number, so I didn't put 300 on the Niners. I actually was putting 300 on the Niners first half, and I hit up my guy. Aponte. He puts the bets in for me on his app or whatever, and the app wasn't working for whatever reason. So I would have came up 300, and I hit him like, "Hey, I'm trying to put this money on the first half." He was like, "Man, my app's not working." So that was tough. Here we go, back to bring some guys on. I got my guy Brooks Anderson coming on first. Here we go. And Brooks, what's good? Brooks, man, what's on your mind?
What's up, man? Appreciate
Yeah,
you
good morning.
put me on, man. I've been watching the show for a while, man. I love the show, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I
You hear
appreciate
me?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just want to say because I've been dealing with I like to call them the Jimmy G QAnons, like the folks who just can't see past like Jimmy's mistakes. Like no one's saying he's a bad quarterback. He's just extremely mediocre. The best way to put it.
Yeah.
As far as like he's good enough to be a starter. But when you get to the playoffs, you gotta be better than that. Like you have to do something better than the next guy, whether it's the arm talent, whether it's you see the field better than most, like a Brady, or you got the legs, like like Cap had back in the day, or even Josh Allen, one of those guys. You have to be special. The special guys are the ones that win. But Jimmy's good enough to get us there. But at the same time, he needs everything around him to be absolutely perfect.
I
And
don't
if
want to say they have to be perfect, but they definitely have to be more ideal,
yeah,
typically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way to put it. But especially when you consider like how much he's being paid, it's like we pay him like he's one of those guys. But it's like at this point I'm like I'd rather have Mac Jones because them two pretty much, you know, are equal to each other, except for Mac Jones is making what less than $3 million a year to do the same thing.
Right. And I think that's a different conversation. At the end of the day right now, the
Hmm.
49ers, they have Jimmy Garoppolo. And again,
Yeah.
we've all known what he is, what he isn't. Some people are kind of blind to it. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid starting quarterback in the NFL. But
Yep.
it's just tough when you go through a season and okay, he's a solid starting quarterback, but this season is not about him. It's about Trey Lance. And it's
Hmm.
about getting Trey Lance to be as close to what we need him to be and what's the best way and how do you go about that. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, hey, we're gonna win games and whatnot, but I don't think 8-7 was what they were expecting. I think that's the tough part about it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Because you figure if he's, and I said it in the comments, I was like, if he was that guy, we should be better than 8-7. And a lot of those games we lost, we shouldn't have lost because the ball was in his hand and he turned the ball over and allowed, knowing that we do have deficiencies in the secondary, he put them back on the field. Your better quarterbacks keeps their bad defense off the field by continuing drives. But when you throw picks with a clean pocket, and then the part that makes me mad about his picks, if you look at was he thrown like I think with like 8 picks or 9 picks now,
uh 10 maybe.
7 of them are on the same spot of the field against the same coverage to the same position. He's either throwing it to the robber or he's throwing it to the linebacker. Like Bobby Wagner was about to go this whole season pickless until we played Seattle and he threw that stupid interception. That was his first
Yeah.
pick of the year. But he throws the same pick every single time. If he's going to throw a pick, you know where it's going.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for Kyle Shanahan because he knows where Jimmy Garoppolo is most effective, and I think we all know that, right? Like Jimmy G, although he throws interceptions over the middle and he'll sell some passes, and those are the risks that you have when you throw a lot over the middle. But that's where he's the most efficient in his
Yeah.
game. That's where he's able to snap that ball out, get it to guys, catch and run opportunities. And we know that. So it's almost like a double-edged sword because
Hmm.
he can kind of slice up teams in that area, but then also he can hurt you if he's off a little bit. And that's kind of what happens when you're living over the middle.
Yeah. All right, man. I got to jump off here. I got to go back to work. Appreciate you having me
All
on,
right,
man.
appreciate you coming on, man.
All right. Take care.
All right, here we go. Got my guy Darius coming on. D, man, what's good? Good morning.
Yo, man. Happy Merry Christmas Eve and all that good stuff.
All right,
I
man.
really
Same to
just
you,
called
bro.
to say thank you, man. I told you this is my therapy, bro. Because at first, man, like I was just look. I wasn't mad at Jimmy because I know what to expect. Like we all know that he's inconsistent. He's like you said, those wins be having everybody blinded, and it's like those almost was a pick, that kind of stuff. People will be like, "Oh, well, no, well, you can't say that. Almost only counts in horseshoes and yada yada." It's like, okay, bro, but it's the same one, man. He made so many linebackers famous, bro. They not no damn cover linebackers like that, but Jimmy got them looking like they really just out there ball sharks, man. Like, no, like Jimmy does the same shit. Sometimes he get away with it, and these be the times when he don't. And the only thing I just couldn't understand was why they didn't run the ball. And when you said that, I said, yeah, bro. Like, I just put my mind at ease. Like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Jimmy's year. He been saying it. He been saying it. It's Jimmy's year, and they're gonna stick with him. And I guess Kyle probably just was like, man, damn that. show us what's up. Like, show us what you got. Like, I'm calling up as easy as I can because he gave him some layups and he smoked it. I don't give a damn, bro. Like, Kyle Juszczyk was wide the fuck open. You don't miss that, bro. I could have made that. I can come home
Well,
right now and
in
make
one of those
that.
throws, listen, a throw like that, it's when guys are wide open to that extent. The goal is it's not even so much I have to hit him in stride for a touchdown. It's just I just have to
Just get
get
it
the
there.
ball to him.
Come on,
Yeah,
man. Trey
and
did
so
that.
that's why those kind of misses are
Trey
worse.
did that with
Yeah,
Debo.
Trey
Don't come on.
Trey did that
Don't
with
play with me
Debo
like
against the Seattle Seahawks, right? Where Debo's wide open, you have a busted coverage. All right, I just have to get it to him. And he got it to him. Debo took off, he scored a touchdown. This was the same kind of situation there. And not to say that Jimmy can't do it. Jimmy did it against who was it? It was against the Seahawks a couple weeks ago on that first drive against when they were trying to like come back and score. That was the same thing right
hmm
there where he had same play, probably too. It looked like it was a tight end leak for Kittle, and I think that was the fullback leak for Juszczyk. But I just have to throw it. I just have to get it there. It might not hit him in stride, so he can catch and run.
facts.
But let me just get it there. And on that play right there,
Let,
he
let,
missed. And ultimately, if you kind of look at how the game played out, that play had a big
I,
hand in the 49ers' demise late in that game.
so look, right. So I want to ask you this right now as a DB. Why you see Norman? I guess they call it like the Bill or whatever, the Bill type of position. Like,
Yeah,
why is he giving
yeah.
up all that space? Like, he opened the door for AJ a few times, bro. And I'm like looking at it like, damn, why y'all don't just double team this man? If that's the case, if Norman you scared to get up on him, because I seen him. I didn't know AJ Brown was that big. I knew he was good. I didn't know he was good though. He was a big boy. Like, okay, so he gonna be throwing his hands on y'all, double him then. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know why D'Amico didn't try to change that up. And I just want you to let me know that part of the game. Like,
So
was I looking
yeah,
too much
AJ
into it or?
Brown. AJ Brown's a big dude. He's 6 foot, 230 pounds, and he's like rock solid. So he is a big, big ass receiver, right? We look at Debo
Man,
Samuel. Debo's 5'11", like 217 or so, and AJ Brown's an inch taller, and he's like 13 pounds heavier. So that's a big, strong dude, and he can run. He got some good speed. As far as Josh Norman goes, again, Josh Norman is someone who, again, he's late. He he came late in the process. He's not somebody that they were projecting to be the starter. He's a little old now. So there are areas where he can help, but I think he's a little worried to get beat vertically, so he doesn't challenge himself as much from a bail technique. And the result of that is a little bit more soft coverage. So that's kind of what we're seeing from our guy Josh Norman and kind of why he's playing it the way that he is. But even saying that, and I talked about it yesterday, the 49ers cornerbacks would not be the reason the 49ers lost. And again, they reared their ugly heads of having a Josh Norman who isn't as good as he used to be and having a rookie
all
and hurt
right,
them on one drive where they gave up 7 points. Outside of that, I thought the 49ers corners played well enough to give the 49ers an opportunity to win. Heading into that last drive, the Titans had 17 points. So the corners, everybody wants to talk about that. That's not why the 49ers lost. The loss falls squarely on the shoulders of Jimmy Garoppolo that turned the ball over in the red zone, that threw another pick, setting up short field position, that missed throws that instead of getting 7 points, you get 3. Those type of things were the things
all
that
right.
ultimately really hurt the 49ers.
Well, I'm not even arguing that. Like, that's a fact. Like, that's a
Yeah.
fact. I just wanted to know that one little part. But so look, so this is my last question, and I'm gone. I don't know if everybody trying to get on, but so like the locker room now, because I was mad that Jimmy didn't take responsibility. It's one thing, like we all know it's your fault, but you gotta step up and be a man and say, hey, look, man, I threw them dumbass picks. You know what I mean? Like, so like what's the locker room like, bro? Like from your expertise in it and after that, yeah, I'm
Uh,
gone, man. Everybody have a good holidays, all that good
all
stuff.
right, D. Appreciate you coming on. Stay up. You know, when it comes to the locker room, See, by this time with the Jets, I wasn't in the locker room when there were struggles from Geno Smith. I know what the Jets did initially, and it was, hey, we're gonna put Mark Sanchez on IR, and we're just gonna roll with Geno Smith. And I remember being in the locker room at that time, and nobody really caring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, the players understand that they have a job to do. That was my situation, and a lot of it comes from the leader too. I talk about it with my son and my kids. I talk about it with my wife, right? And probably a lot of y'all can attest to this. What type of confidence do you instill in your family with the decisions that you make? Because at the end of the day, the 49ers traded all that. We know that Trey Lance is the guy, right? We know that. So at one point, if he gets in, he gets in. But you as the leader, you set the tone for everything. I'm the leader in my household, right? Y'all, you men in here, whatever, y'all the man in your house. What you say goes, and you instill the confidence in your family that the decisions you make are the right decisions, right? When I say something in my family, in my household to my family, it is what it is. But I back it, I back it up, right? And when you back it up, can't nobody say nothing to you about it. And when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and the situation with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, and people are like, "Oh, well, the locker room, the locker room." At the end of the day, a real head coach. Listen, I'm John Harbaugh. When he went, he benched Joe Flacco for Lamar Jackson. I don't care how y'all feel. This the decision. This what we right with. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna win games. And that's what they did. That's what they did. So everybody's saying that Kyle's playing to the locker room, and oh well, they might not like how y'all feel. I'm trying to win games here. And maybe that's why he said, well, I'm just going to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo because, hey, I'm trying to win games. I don't want to deal with the ups and downs and the unknowns of a rookie. Maybe. But at 8-7, that's not that's not what I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not right to me. Something's off. Ultimately, Kyle, it's on you. Ain't that what he said during the draft? Hey, I make the decision. I draft who I want, and we got to live with that, not you fans. Right? That's what he said. And as a man, right, and y'all men of your household or any of y'all in here that are business owners, y'all too understand your decisions. Like, it's your decisions, and you're gonna ride with that. And Kyle's gonna do that the way, whatever, how we feel, or team, or whatever the case is. So why does Jimmy smile? Why does Jimmy keep smiling at your INTs? You know what, Melf Hunter? This is what I think it is. And I'm about to get my guy the Jedi on. This is what I think it is. Have you ever been like caught up in a situation? You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day, right? Me with the chicks and stuff like that. I might get caught up with a chick or something, right? And my my defense mechanism was to just kind of laugh, like, because I know I'm caught, right? I know I'm caught. So it's like, like, man, you tripping, right? Like I kind of try to play it off like that. But my initial reaction was to kind of like smile and laugh, like, man, like, you tripping. So I don't know if that's what Jimmy's doing, where he knows he's caught, right? Like, damn, threw that pick. Like, I know Twitter gonna kill me. I know I'm be trending on Twitter. I know everybody gonna tell me I suck. Like, gosh, like, you know what I'm saying? And you can't help but like kind of almost sometimes laugh at yourself. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe that's what he's doing. I got my guy Jedi coming on, man. Jedi, what's good with you, man? Happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, bro. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Excellent. Yeah, man. I saw the game, and only thing I can think of is back to our conversation when we were talking about being a business owner and having the conviction and having that person in leadership that would say, you know what, y'all don't have to see the vision. Remember, we it's a while back we
Yeah.
discussed this.
Yeah.
It all comes to fruition because we see it now. It's Jimmy is limited with what he can do. He is digressing almost. I hate to say it. He's like, I don't even say that. I think the book is out. You know what I mean? The defense is now know, okay, this is what he won't do. So let's make him do what he won't do. And
But
if you go,
Jedi, hold on, bro. They been knew that.
that's
Oh,
true.
hold on, Jedi. Hold on. You got some static in the background with you. It sounds like an alien or something. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it kind of sound like, you know how like the aliens on like in like outer space be sounding like or like
Okay,
when
I'm
they
trying. Hopefully,
portray
that get better a
aliens.
little bit.
Okay, I think that's better right there. But we all know what Jimmy is and what he isn't. I mean,
Right.
there are some people that are naive to what he isn't. But I think heading into the season, we knew what it was, what it wasn't, right? So when you look at Jimmy and the things that are happening to me right now, it's just Jimmy. As far as the book that's been out on him, everybody knows where he wants to throw the ball. Everybody knows where he wants to win. I think Kyle does a really good job of window dressing a lot of stuff to hide some deficiencies of Jimmy Garoppolo. But at the end of the day, I mean, we know what he is, and we know where he does well. And I think that's the tough thing, right? I talked about it with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I
I talked
just
about it with Jamar
find it
Chase.
real. I find it
Go ahead.
really interesting that we have a 8-year quarterback that continues to make rookie mistakes that we can't put up with a rookie. You know,
Right,
I
right.
don't understand the logic behind that. The wide
Here's the
open
logic.
throw.
Jedi, here's the logic, because essentially you're right, right? What's the difference between Trey Lance missing a throw to over on a slant where he overthrows it by 3 yards and Jimmy Garoppolo missing Kyle Juszczyk wide open, right? What's the difference? What's the difference between Jimmy sailing passes over the middle, throwing interceptions, and Trey Lance sailing the pass over the middle? Right. There is no difference. I think the difference is that regardless of all that, there's still unknown with Trey in the sense of can he have those weird moments but still come out with victorious. And I think when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo, with what we know, he wins a lot more games than he loses. So I think it's not even so much about the rookie mistakes and things like that. Is that at the end of the day, we still know heading into a game, we know we could win with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think that's where they're at. Real quick, let me get to this super chat real quick. Emory Thomas seen to improvement. I thought he did good for a 3-star guy. Yeah, I think Emory Thomas played well. He had the one play where I thought he got pushed off, and it
Yeah,
resulted in a big play. But outside of that, I thought he played well all
I
night.
think he
I was
did
watching
good.
him
I think,
sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say, Carl, I think Ambry they had a good game. I I saw some, rookie moments, but it's development, and I saw
right,
where he's trending. I like where he was going. I like that.
right, right.
But I think with Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm to the point with him. It's kind of like, okay, you can't be 8 years making these mistakes. These are mistakes a young rookie 2nd-year guy they make. And if we're
Right.
talking about an 8-year, like what as fans, as yourself, Crop, what is the bar you're willing to hold an 8-year veteran to? Like what it it just seems like we're holding Trey to this Jimmy Garoppolo bar, or should I say, we're holding Jimmy Garoppolo to the Trey Lance bar, and they shouldn't be the same bars. An 8-year veteran should have a higher bar than a
What you're saying is, why do we hold Trey Lance and what he looks like to a higher standard than Jimmy Garoppolo, who's the 8-year veteran, right?
right, right,
And I think again, a lot of it comes with, even though right? Well, there's a lot of people. I don't want to say that they're blinded by the wins, but that's what they look at when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. So they know, regardless if he does weird stuff, it still can result in wins, and it does more times than not. That's what people are looking at with Trey Lance. They're like, well, he played a game. He played against Arizona. He threw an interception. The 49ers didn't win. They had to run the ball 16 times with him. Like, I think people look at those things and it's just like, oh, no, 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 no. He's not ready. But even though we watch Jimmy Garoppolo consistently, we see him do weird things, but it's like, well, but he wins games, So I think that's kind of what what we're seeing there, and why it feels like there's a higher standard for Trey Lance than there is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, it is. I hope these people use that same energy next year when we have to develop Trey and he has his ups and downs. I just want the good Trey, bad Trey. You know how people say good Jimmy, bad Jimmy? I would
Yeah,
like, I'm putting it out here, before 2022 gets here. I would like if those same people have a good Trey, bad Trey. So when Trey has his off days, that he can have a bad Trey and not be, crushed when he has to develop, and we have to go through his development stages of his ups and downs. So I just want that as well.
Well, we will get it if he's also winning games. And I would say this: if he's done some of the things that Jimmy has done, but the 49ers are 8-7, I think a lot of people will be encouraged by that. I've been one that says I just don't feel like this team should be 8-7 with Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like they should be better than that. If you go into the season trying to be who you think you could be with Jimmy Garoppolo, 8-7 is not what the expectations are. So I think that's been weird. But I'm gonna get you off, Jedi. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate having me.
All right, here we go. Let's get to some of these other super chats we got. Actually, let me go. I don't even think I addressed that one up there. To think that people think that Jimmy can get a first round pick, I've been one of them because although Jimmy has weird moments, and we saw one and last night did not help, but there are a lot of bad teams around the NFL, or a lot of teams that really need a Jimmy Garoppolo. Like the Saints are about to start. Who are they about to start, man? The Saints are starting a quarterback that is not ideal. Let me see. Saints starting QB. Hold on. It's like a rookie or something. Ian Book. You know what I'm saying? Like the Saints have to start Ian Book. And that's after, you got Taysom Hill. Like he's so bad. Like Jimmy is better than those guys. So if I'm Sean Payton, I look at it, I'm like, man, I feel like I'd be good with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think just how Kyle Shanahan was looking at it heading into this year. So I think there's a scenario where a team just maybe they have a late round pick and they're like, all right, man, we let's go get Jimmy, and he's going to help us win. And there is that scenario. 20-22 on passes under 5 yards, and there were a lot of screens in there. 6-13 and 2 INTs over 5 yards. That's not ideal, right? That's not ideal. Not ideal. Happy holidays to you too, my guy Jeff. Let's go. Jimmy got to go. He had a chance to carry the D and the mistakes, but he held out, and the accountability and how you spot. Yep. But so he sold out. Okay, so here's the thing though. I don't even think he had to carry the D. I don't even think Jimmy had to carry the defense. I think the defense had to carry him throughout most of this game and his mistakes. Up until that, we're talking about a team late in the fourth quarter. What I don't know, 15 seconds left on the clock. Like the Titans have 17 points. 17 points that late in the game. So Jimmy didn't even have to carry the defense with Josh Norman, with Ambry Thomas, and whatever other replacements they have out there. We're carrying the offense. And that's wild to me. With all the turnover and on offense of 49ers, like, okay, you don't have Elijah Mitchell. Man, you got George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams. Like, Jeff Wilson just had a 100-plus yard game last week. Like, he could run the ball. Like, Jimmy, you're supposed to be able to win. Defense, for most of the game, 17 points. That's what the Tennessee had. 17 points at that when they kicked that field goal. And you got all those guys and Kyle Shanahan playing puppet master. The defense is carrying Jimmy Garoppolo like he's a rookie. Rookies do go through those things, right? Like sometimes you just need the defense to carry a rookie. Okay, we're playing Jimmy Garoppolo because he's not a rookie. He's an 8-year vet. That's the wild part to me. That is the wild part to me. Again, I appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, download Underdog Fantasy. And then he blew my Underdog Fantasy parlays. I think that was the thing I was most upset about. Not Jimmy, he didn't blow it, but Deebo Samuel, if he would have scored on that big run, if Deebo would have scored, that's $200. And I needed on my other parlay, Ryan Tannehill to get 8 more yards. If Ryan Tannehill got 8 more yards, I would have got another 200. So I was just about basically 12 yards between the two guys away from 400 yards, man. That was sick. That's sick. I see my guy right here, my guy Craig. He says Trey time. there's two things here, right? There's one, what I would do, and then there's what Kyle would probably do. I think Kyle, he's made his bed. He's going to lay in it. Jimmy's been our guy all year. We're going to ride it out, and we'll just get to Trey Lance next year. That's the way he's going to go. I don't see Trey Lance coming in. I think other coaches who do, I don't even want to say Kyle doesn't make aggressive decisions. I don't want to say that, but I think Kyle turns on his aggressiveness. Like he turns it on and off. Some guys are more aggressive. It was an aggressive move to just go up and get Trey Lance. And then he's playing it by not being aggressive when you have a chance like right now to say, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Trey Lance, let's go. We got 10 days to get you ready for Houston Texans at home. Trey Lance, we got 10 days. We got 10 days to get you ready. All because, Jimmy, you couldn't really hold it down the way we needed to, the way we expected. It's late in the year, though. It's late in the year. I don't know. Here we go. I see fans are harsh. We in the playoffs and y'all want to make a change. Brady had 0 points this week. I hear you. And I'll say this. Jimmy ain't Tom Brady. Tom Brady, okay, let's talk about it, right? Tom Brady, he did have 0 points. Tom Brady had 0 points with Mike Williams out, Chris Godwin out, Antonio Brown out, and going up against a fierce Saints defense. The Saints defense is hella good. So you're going up against a great defense, and your 3 receivers all gone. You lost them all. You lost them all of them. They're hurt all over. You know what I'm saying? So, and even then, Brady would come back and probably light somebody up. And Brady has had some weird moments this year. Brady has had some weird moments. Don't get it twisted. But then he's Brady. He done went to 10 Super Bowls. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Here's the link. Anybody that wants to come on, I'll stay on for a little bit. I hear my kids waking up. I know they're going to want to open up presents. We're doing Christmas today, so. Brady, shoot, just a week before, I saw Brady throw a pick 6 and stuff, but he also threw for like 400 and 4 tugs. And, you know, got a super chat. Where's it at? Here we go. Croc, you know damn well we ain't getting no first round. Jamie, he's a bum, as well as Norman. He's really sad for the faithful to deal with, or it's really sad for the faithful to deal with this. My guy, Ali, I hear you, big dog. I hear you. I don't project the 49ers getting a first round pick for Jimmy, but I'm saying I do think that there could be a scenario. What maybe it's a what do they call those picks, where it's like a second or third round pick, but depending on how he plays, if he makes a Pro Bowl, if he starts a certain amount of games, it could turn into a first. Maybe it's one of those, right? Ain't that what the Colts did with Carson Wentz, right? Carson Wentz was trash. They traded for him and they said, listen, we'll give you a second and a fourth or something like that. But that second, the following year, it could turn into a first. And it turned into a first. So, you know, there's things like that you could do where it's not just flat out a first round pick, but it's something that could turn into a first. As far as Norman, I think Norman is what he is. And it's not ideal to have to play him, but it's also not ideal to play without Emmanuel Mosley and Jason Verrett. And, you know, you got some rookies that are, you know what I'm saying? So I'd say this. I think they would like to continue to see Ambry Thomas improve. I thought he played well yesterday. Keep improving. And when Mosley comes back, maybe we could roll with Ambry Thomas and Mosley. You know what I'm saying? And I think that might be kind of ideal for them. Here we go. Got my guy Eddie coming on. Eddie, what's good, man? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Croc. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. It's not a compensatory pick, right? The comp pick is about me talking about the trade. A comp pick is a pick that you get based on like free agents and stuff, right? Like it's like if if we don't sign a certain amount of players, but we have some free agents from our team leave, then we get comp picks, conditional pick. That's what it is. It's a conditional pick. So that's what there are a couple of people that were like a comp pick, but it's not a comp pick. It's conditional. There we go. My guy right here said it too. All right, but go ahead. What's good, Eddie? What's on your mind, man?
All right, man. I just want to say Merry Christmas before I start off. Happy holidays to you and your family. Hope y'all enjoying everything.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you,
sure.
thank you.
Croc, you tell me, man, were any of the throws that Jimmy was asked to make yesterday, were any of them high degree, high difficulty throws, right? On the 2 picks, on the throw to use check, even on some of the throws, like the one to Ayuk on the 4th down play that he made, were any of those throws considered, high difficulty throws? I didn't think so, but I want to hear what you have to say about that.
I didn't think that they were necessarily high difficulty throws. I think Kyle does a really good job of kind of taking that away. The one thing, though, I will say about Jimmy Garoppolo, he does make some high difficulty throws over the middle, tight window throws. He will make those. I think the interception that he threw to Deebo Samuel was more of a layered throw, and the ball sailed on him. Now, he missed some layered throws early in the season where against like the Eagles on the out route, they had a underneath defender. They had an underneath defender, and they tried to throw it over the underneath defender, and the ball kind of sailed on him, went out of bounds. I think he threw another one to Trent Sherfield. But he also has completed the layer throw. He threw one to Deebo Samuel in the Packers game where it went right over the defender, dropped down. But we also have seen him sail the layer throws. And right there, that one right there to Deebo Samuel, that was a layer throw. And I'm not saying that it's a simple throw, but some people just kind of drop it in there and it looks routine. And that one's got away from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So I think that's what's frustrating when it comes to Jimmy's play is they're not asking him to be, Patrick Mahomes with some of these throws, right? They're not asking him to do what some of the things that Brady does. I think what Kyle asks of him isn't necessarily, very, very difficult in terms of comparing him to the other quarterbacks and what they're asked to do. And that is very frustrating, right? Because it's like, Jimmy, we're asking you not to make a mistake. Now, we understand you make one here or two, or even if a guy makes a great play, right, and puts you in a position where there wasn't much you could do. But with last night's game, I felt like he was making some really, really bad throws, bad reads, and that's very frustrating. But I've mentioned this to you before. We've talked about it before. It's that accountability part, right? The accountability part, right? Where's Kyle holding Jimmy, accountable for making some of those bad reads or making some of those mistakes? And we've seen it in other games, but we've never really seen it at a press conference. He's never actually, I don't remember Jimmy Garoppolo ever being outright benched for his bad play, right? So I do recall.
There was one game where I think they could justify it, but if you remember back against the Dolphins, I believe it was last year, and I think that was Jimmy Garoppolo coming off of an injury, and they benched him, right? He was playing terrible. He was selling passes. He was hurt. He wasn't healthy, but he was like, okay, let me bench him at halftime because he's not doing, he's well. I think right now it's definitely harder because there's nothing else to put the blame on for Jimmy Garoppolo going out there and playing poorly. I would have liked that to be, and we've seen this sometimes from coaches where it's just like, matter of fact, I think it happened with Steve Young in the Super Bowl year,
100%,
right? Where
against the Eagles.
it's just like now it's different. The Eagles were just blowing the 49ers out, and the 49ers are like, all right, we're just gonna bench you. The game last night was closer, and the 49ers, for the most part, should have won and had the opportunity to win. So it's hard to bench a guy in that situation, but you would like to see all right, you know what, Trey Lance, go out there for this drive. Jimmy, you need to settle down. Trey Lance, do your thing for a drive, and then we're going to get Jimmy back in there. And, do something to where it's just like you have to play better. So, I mean, I doubt that we see that, but that's something that, potentially they could do.
Yeah, last thing I want to say real quick before I get off was, it's funny because I look at this about like accountability, right? Being a leader, being a man, right? It's all a part of that. I manage about 100 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it starts with me. The culture in my organization starts with the person on top, right? It's funny to me that, people want to hold Ambry accountable for the couple of plays that he allowed, right? And they want to,
One
kill
play, the one
one
play.
play, exactly, right? One play. Like he's played 3 games. I think he started 3 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jimmy's been
Right,
playing football in the NFL for about 8 years, right? 8 or 9 years.
right,
He's been the starter for the 49ers for what, 3 of those, 4 of those? If
right.
Ambry Thomas played quarterback for 3 or 4 years, starting every game for the 49ers, and he was still making these boneheaded plays, what would y'all want from where Ambry? Where would y'all want him to be? Right? Kyle would have shipped him off a long time ago, right? And Jimmy just gets that pass, and that's frustrating. That's got to be frustrating. It's got to be irritating. When Brandon Ayuk kicked that ball after he scored the touchdown, when he punted that ball into the stands, I don't think that was him celebrating. I think that was him just being angry because he is
Very
held
frustrated.
accountable. He is held accountable for every block that he doesn't block well or every route that he doesn't run at 100% in practice. Right? They hold him. He gets held accountable real quick. And I don't know if there's that same level of accountability for your starting quarterback. But appreciate you, Croc man. Have a great Christmas,
Uh,
bro.
Thanks for coming on, Eddie. Man, I wish I had a voice like Eddie. Like, if I would have known that, actually, funny story here. Obviously, I made it to the NFL and all that stuff, and that's great. That's exciting. I'm at my grandparents' house right now. For anybody that's new right now, and they like this is typically not where I record. I usually record in my office out in Arkansas. I live in Arkansas now. Uh, but when I was a kid, making it to the NFL, that wasn't really like a dream of mine. I wanted to be Stuart Scott. I wanted to be Stuart Scott. But it's funny, I was talking to my grandma and she was like, "Man, like you've done a lot of amazing things." She has my contract and stuff still and all that. And she's like, "Man, you've done a lot of amazing things." And I'm like, "You know what, grandma? Like sometimes, I I have done some really cool things and I still do some cool things. And I'm so much focused on like the next thing that sometimes I forget, like in the moment I've been able to kind of do some cool things. But I wanted to be Stuart Scott. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be uh on ESPN. And when I came out with this voice, I'm like, I don't got the voice for TV, ma. I'm telling my mom too, like, I ain't got the voice for TV. I can't be Stuart Scott. And salute to all y'all that put up with my raspy voice and stuff like that, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. My guy Eddie said the voice is for sale. That's spoken like a true businessman. I wish I had Eddie's voice. All right, here we go. We got Darius coming on. Darius, what's good with you, man?
What's going on? Hey, I had to spin the block one time, bro, because earlier everybody was going in the yard and I got tense up, man. My nerves is bad, so I had to excuse myself. But I wanted to spin the block, bro, for Ambry Thomas, bro, because I like him a lot, man. If they get him in the weight room, get him up, get his size up, so he get some strong hands, because he's sharp. He is
Yeah.
sharp. If we can get him and Mosley together, hopefully Mosley can get back soon. But I like Ambry. I was gonna ask you what you thought about him.
Yeah, again, so with Ambry Thomas, and one thing that I want to talk about, even in some of his downfalls, like the ability is there. So it just comes down to like just make a play. All right. And last night it was like, okay, you made some plays. Now, obviously, AJ Brown, still think he pushed off, but he made a play against him. And big dog's gonna do that sometimes,
Yeah,
right? Like
that was
sometimes they're gonna
bad
get theirs.
timing, man.
But
That
I
was
think,
bad timing too.
yeah, but I think that was the only play, only catch he gave up on a play that was a free play because the defense jumped off sides. So as far as Ambry Thomas goes,
Right.
I think he's been doing some things that are probably very encouraging to the team, even some things that we don't see that are away from the ball that he's doing well. I think he has all the ability to be a solid starting corner in the NFL. Now it's just continue stacking plays together and stack some of these games together. And if he can continue to do that, his confidence is going to grow. And I will say this: I was watching him after some of those plays. He doesn't lack confidence. I was thinking like, man, you got to get the confidence right. He don't lack confidence. Now it's just all right. Let's stack some of these games together for Ambry Thomas, and I think he'll be all right. A lot of people want to draft a first round corner. I would say if you draft a corner first round, you still might deal with some of the things that you're dealing with Ambry Thomas with ups and downs until that guy comes along. So you end up being like a hamster in that wheel that keeps turning over, kind of staying in the same place if you don't give some of these guys a chance to kind of develop in the game to slow down for him. So Ambry Thomas, man, I liked how he played. I like where he's headed at.
So, what happened to Diamador? He just fell down the list, or is they saving
I think they
him?
want him to play nickel. But you got what you call
Quan?
you got Quan Williams, and Quan Williams playing at a high level, right? So it's just hard to kind of get Lenore on the field like
that. Hey, when I heard Buster Scrine's name, I knew he was gonna toast him. As soon as I heard his name, I said, "They got who? Who's over there?" And Brandon Ayuk touchdown back at the end zone.
Yeah.
For sure, though, man. Hey, man, Merry Christmas, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. You have a good one, bro. All right. Yeah, somebody says move. Oh, no. Move Ambry to nickel. No, Ambry Thomas is an outside corner. He has the length, he has the speed, he has the ability, he has the size. Like, he's an outside corner. Now it's just okay, just continue to work on making those plays at the catch point. Like that's all it is. More than half the battle is being in position. That's typically the tough part. I haven't seen him have trouble running with guys vertically or anything like that. And he's gonna be fine. Just make the plays. Continue to build that confidence and continue to work on your craft. But it's a development process. You know, Atlanta didn't give up on AJ Terrell last year after like Terrell didn't have that great of a year. Same with Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs didn't have a great rookie year. He got beat a lot. If you asked a lot of Cowboy fans, they didn't care for Trevon Diggs. He still kind of gets beat, but yeah, you got 10 interceptions, so you know you kind of live with it. Yeah, man. D'Amico Ryans has done a terrific job. D'Amico on the defense never adjusted. Jimmy did. That's different. D'Amico up into the last. I mean, they gave up 17 points up into the last field goal. Like, what? You know the video of Tyrese. What more do you want from me? Like, the 49ers defense, I thought they played very well last night. Like, at some point, again, and I think some people feel like, oh, it's just 49ers, and it's just they should be able to manhandle. 49ers are on the road. Defense on the field a whole lot. Offense got to score in the second half. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You got to help your team out. Help your team out. How do you help them? Well, let's not throw an interception and put them in scoring position. Let's not throw an interception in the end zone. Let's not miss. That's not even an adjustment. Jimmy made an adjustment. Look, Jimmy just missed passes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What are we doing? Oh, man. We're not going there, Ryu and Ken. Street Fighter. Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody sitting here right now. I'm about to get to the family, open up presents, all that good stuff, man. Shout out to y'all. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Some of y'all don't come back. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope everybody has a blessed holiday. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate everybody's in the chat, man. Appreciate all y'all. And I know we talk about 49ers and maybe some of us have different opinions and whatnot. It's just an opinion. And anybody knows, man, I'm always willing. Come on. And, you know, you have something that you want to talk about and you want everybody to hear it. And sometimes, you know, typing up a few words in a chat isn't good enough. Sometimes you need to be able to verbalize what you're saying and let people truly understand it, what it is that you're, you know, trying to get across. And that's why I have this, because I can tweet stuff out, but sometimes my thoughts get kind of misconstrued. So it's easier for me to talk about it over an hour and get some of your guys' questions and answer those things. And it helps put things in perspective and what I'm really trying to say. So shout out to all y'all. Salute to all y'all. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. If you haven't already, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Crocky. I saw somebody ask earlier, what's the promo code for Underdog Fantasy? Promo code Crocky. All right. Promo code Crocky. All right. If you haven't already, you're new to the show and you like this show, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. 200 y'all in here right now. I appreciate y'all, man. Stuart Scott, that's what I'm shooting for, man. That's what I'm shooting for. But, man, we out, man. Until next time, I'll see y'all, man. We out, man. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Rodgers over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Cross Talk TV podcast. Peace.